Hi everyone, my name is Ying, and today we're going to be going through the book Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. Let's get to it. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. Really quickly, what do you guys think mischief might be? Because that it's a word that we don't hear every day. It's basically like bad behavior. So, for example, would be a bad boy or bad girl doing bad things. Like Max, right here, he has a hammer and a nail in the illustration. He is hammering the nail into the wall, but it doesn't look like he cares that he's making a crack in it. Yeah. Let's continue. And another. And his mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. And in the picture, we can see that he's a bit upset. He got sent to his room and he didn't get a chance to eat anything too. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. And in the illustration, you see the picture growing. So you can also see that the trees are growing in it as well. Yeah, you can see how the picture is also bigger. It's like in this one, it was much smaller, and now it's much bigger. It's much bigger. Yeah. And grew. And grew until the ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. Now, in the illustration, we can see that there's, his room is gone. It's completely gone. It turned into a forest or new world. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. So happy on the boat, sailing off overseas. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Yeah. In the illustration, what do you guys think is happening? And Max looks kind of shocked, right? He's like, "Whoa, what is this?" And the first wild thing we see here is like a sea monster. He's like popping up like, "Whoa, who's this kid too?" You see that, right? Yeah. What do you guys think might happen? Will we see more, or will he turn back and go home because of, like he's a little bit scared too of the monster? Let's find out. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. And in this illustration, remember the other page where Max is shocked by the monster? In this picture now, you don't see Max scared at all. Yeah. And it looks like the monsters are trying to, scare him, but it doesn't look like he was scared. Let's see what happens next. So Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. You can see Max, waving his hand, and all the monsters like, "Oh no, what's he doing? He's so scary." Yeah. And what do you guys think the word frightened is? I think we can kind of know what it is, right? It's like another word for fear. It's like scared, like, oh my gosh, like, not knowing what he's gonna do. Yeah. Let's continue. and made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. What do you guys think rumpus is? Yeah. So rumpus is a word to say making loud noises. Just making a huge ruckus, like just being really distracting. For example, I could possibly be screaming really loudly like this, and everyone would be like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And yeah, so that's like an example of what rumpus is. And from the picture, we can see that all the wild things are looking or bowing to Max, and they're all like really surprised and really, oh my gosh, like he's our king now of the wild things. But since Max cried out, let the wild rumpus start. What do you guys think might happen? Since we already know what rumpus is. Let's find out. And in the illustration, we can see them roaring, jumping, having fun, and also screaming and dancing towards the moon. Yeah. And now they're hanging off trees, having fun. A little bit dangerous, but they're having fun. And now they're marching through the forest, it seems, because you can see all the leaves in the back. And also now Max is riding one of the wild things. Yeah. Seems like they're having a lot of fun, right? And now let's see what's going to happen next. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely. It wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. So again, right here, what it says, and Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. What do you guys think, he might be feeling? A little homesick, right? Then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. And in the picture, we can see all the wild things sleeping because, Max said go to sleep, so they went to sleep. But, Max seems a little sad, right? Yeah. Let's see what happens next. Will he go home or will he stay with the wild things? But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And we can see the wild things like it looks like they're waving goodbye, but at the same time, they're just like, no, don't go, trying to get him to stay, but Max is sailing away. And sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day. You see him sailing back at night. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. Now we can see that he's back at home, the trees are gone, and his bed is back, and the door is back, and also now he has food on the table too. And we can also see Max putting his hand on his head, a sign of relief, oh, I'm home. Yeah. And it was still hot. And the food was there ready for him. Freshly cooked. And that's the end of the book. And that is the book Where the Wild Things Are, Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak.